Hi, I will now explain in detail the rules of my board game, Grave Robber. Before each player takes action, they need to use a container to roll out the Holy Grail, and then stack the Holy Grail one by one to obtain the opportunity to take action. If the Holy Grail does not fall over, the player successful gets the opportunity to take action. If the Holy Grail falls over, the player falls to get the opportunity to take action. Now I will demonstrate this step. The container I have in my hand is where the Holy Grail is kept. First, I need to shake out a piece of the Holy Grail. And then I have to place this piece of the Holy Grail at a location on the table. The first piece of the Holy Grail will never fall over, so I successfully obtained the opportunity to take action. Now it's the turn of the next player. They repeat the same steps, but the Holy Grail falls over, so the player falls to get the opportunity to take action. This is the way to determine who obtains the opportunity to take action. Next is the player's actions. After obtaining the opportunity to take action, the player can take the following actions: move, dig for treasure, draw and place map tiles, trade cards, and use cards. First is movement. Each player has a total of 2 movement dice. Using one movement die grants 6 movement points. Moving one square costs 1 movement point. Each player can gain a maximum of 12 movement points per turn. Next is digging for treasure. Each player has 2 treasure dice. Using one treasure die allows the player to obtain a treasure card at a location on the map where there is a treasure. Each treasure location can only be dug once. If a player has already dug up the treasure here, it needs to be marked with a token. Next is drawing and placing map tiles. When a player reaches the edge of their current map tile, they can draw 2 map tiles and choose one to connect to their current map tile. However, there are some restrictions. The rows on the 2 map tiles must be connected in order to be placed together. Map tiles cannot be connected if there is a wall obstructing the connection. Map tiles cannot be connected if there is a deep pit obstructing the connection. Then there is card trading. When players are on the same map tiles and agree, they can trade cards. Finally, there is the use of cards. Each equipment card and item card has special effects. Players need to activate the effects of their cards in 2 different ways. First is the item card. Players can directly play the item card to gain the effect of the item card. Once this item card is played, it is completely used and then placed into the discard pile. The next is the equipment card. Players need to roll the equipment die to gain the effect of the equipment card. Although each equipment card can only be used once per turn, but as long as this card has not disappeared due to resisting fate cards, it can continue to be used. At last, let me explain what happens when a player fails an action. If the player accidentally knocks over the Holy Grail while placing it, the current player needs to draw a fate card first. After everyone has resisted this fate card, the current player should then reroll one Holy Grail and place it on the table, and continue with their turn.